Welcome to Behind the Title, the official podcast of Trilogy and Baldacci Real Estate Closing Services. I am one of your co-hosts, Bobbie Grenier.
And I'm Jessica Mongue. So good to be back with you, Bobbie. And we have a very special guest with us today, Lexi Franchi. She's with First American Title Insurance, but she's here representing women in title.
I am so excited to have Lexi on here because not only is she an amazing title rep, she's a great person, an awesome industry partner. So thrilled to have you here, Lexi.
Thank you, Jess and Bobbie. I'm so excited to be here today.
Lexi, we want to start a little bit about you. For those who may not know about your background, can you just tell us a little bit about your career journey and what led you into the title industry?
Thanks, Jess. I've been part of Maine's real estate and title industry since 2015. I actually started as a realtor, which really has given me a deep understanding of the transaction from the client side. I then stepped into a role into doing closings and settlement services, much like what you and Bobbie do, working with real estate agents and lenders. And today I'm actually with First American Title on the underwriting side, and I'm the agency representative. So what that means is I get to work hand in hand with title companies and law firms all across the state.
We're very lucky to have you.
Most definitely. We're here to talk about something that's really exciting that's happening for title in Maine. But for those who aren't familiar, what exactly is Women in Title, Lexi?
Women in Title is a national organization that's devoted to empowering, supporting, and elevating women in the title industry. At its core, the mission is to inspire and empower women in the industry by encouraging advocacy, collaboration, and education. Women in Title started as simple local meetups, women in the industry gathering for coffee and connection, and it's grown into a national community with local chapters all across the country, and we're actually now a 501c3 nonprofit, which is really exciting. So Women in Title focuses on creating a safe, inclusive space for professional development, networking, and just really growing within the industry. It's about growing together rather than competing.
Which I love because Bobbie and I talk about this all the time in other episodes of the podcast. It's about cooperation, not necessarily competition in our industry. And I think Women in Title is just amazing and helping us come together as an industry and again set and raise that bar. So we're super excited. And now you're helping lead the Maine chapter. And what initially inspired you to get involved with Women in Title, Lexi?
Thanks, Jess. So I currently serve as chair of the Women in Title Maine Chapter. You know, we go to all these events and see each other at these different industry functions, and we don't always have a space that's really intentionally designed for support and growth, especially one that really removes that sales pressure. When we're at Women in Title events, we kind of hang the jerseys at the door, so to speak. So we're not there to market or gain business. We're there to grow personally and professionally and build camaraderie. I originally saw Women in Title on Instagram. I started seeing these posts of these women within the industry just getting together, building friendships, relationships, and connections. And, you know, we've always kind of had this connotation I've felt in the field, and I especially experienced it as a young title professional, like, oh, that's a competitor. We don't talk to her. And I don't have that mentality. And, you know, I think it's so valuable to have a space where we can come together and build those friendships. And I always say, nobody gets title like other people in the title business. You never know who you're going to work with, work for, and it's so important to have those positive relationships. One of my favorite phrases is co-opetition. It's cooperation, even though we're competition. We're working together to build those relationships and really just elevate the profession. Bringing that back, when I saw Women in Title online on social media, I'm like, how do I bring that to my state? And Jess was actually the first person that I picked up the phone and called and said, hey, I want to do this crazy thing. Are you in on it with me? She said, absolutely. And I'm very proud of the community we've grown in our state.
Our state is obviously very unique. Can you tell us a little bit about what makes the Maine chapter of Women in Title unique?
Certainly. So Maine is a very unique state in and of its own. We have a vast geographic footprint, and there are women in the industry all over the place that don't really have the opportunity to connect. So our chapter really emphasizes connection, not just geographically, but amongst roles as well. Whether you're a title agent, you're an underwriter, you're in sales, you're in operations, it's a base for everyone. So we blend that emphasis kind of on connection with diversity across different roles and experience. So it's been really cool, even at these meetups, seeing women interact each other and shake hands for the first time and say, oh my gosh, I've been emailing you for 15 years and I finally get to put a face to a name. So it's been really cool to see our Maine chapter just kind of broaden those connections amongst women who may have known each other for a very long time or a brief time, and you finally get that kind of face to the name. And, I've had women come up to me and just say, we've never been in an environment where we're encouraged to have these positive relationships with each other. And, we're here to connect. And it's just really special to see that blossom and these friendships across companies really develop.
I agree. And I've been one of those people, meeting Bobbie, for instance, for the first time at a Women in Title event. It was amazing. I was not working for Trilogy at that point in time. So there's been these names and people that I have interacted with in the industry over the years and just never had the pleasure to meet. So it's very exciting. And I agree with you. Just something that has not necessarily always been fostered in the past within the industry. So it's been really amazing to get to meet other women from across the state that are working in our industry. Let's talk a little bit about impact, Lexi. Since launching, what do you feel some of the chapter's biggest highlights have been so far?
So I'm going to go back to that connection piece. It's just been incredible seeing these connections happen, these relationships grow, and the attendance grow. Women are obviously getting something out of this group because we're seeing new faces at almost every event. Women who maybe have sat in their role for so many years and they're kind of streamlined. You have the binders on, you do your job every day, and to kind of see them come out of their shell a little bit and make these connections that they normally would. Sometimes if you have a title abstractor who's sitting at their desk reviewing titles all day, they're never going to be in a place where they're having a conversation about a sales rep and they're dealing with some of the same challenges, right? So it's really cool to see just that connection foster. There's all sorts of personalities in the title industry, right? We have different roles. People are more a little fine-tuned for different roles. So we've had some people who maybe are a little more introverted, and it's been really cool seeing them as well kind of expand and develop these relationships and friendships. It's really awesome to see the growth and connection within our chapter.
One thing that you do at the meetings, which I really like, is you generally give an opportunity for everybody to speak, just say something about themselves, who they work for, what their role is, and how long they've been in the business, which is really amazing because we have people that had been in the business for months and then 20, upwards of 30 years. So how do you ensure that the chapter stays inclusive and welcoming to professionals at all career stages?
Inclusivity is actually built directly into our chapter guidelines. Local chapters are expected to create welcoming environments, host accessible events, whether they're in person or virtual, and we encourage participation from women in all stages of their career, whether you're newcomers or an industry veteran. As you mentioned, at our events, we often go around the room and ask how long someone's been in the industry. There is so much incredible experience in the room, and we can all learn so much from each other. So I always kind of say it's about flattening the hierarchy and fostering mentorship naturally.
I've kind of experienced this firsthand in the early stages of my career, and we've talked about it a little bit. But is there anything else you want to add about why you feel it's important for women in title to have a space specifically focused on supporting the other women in this industry?
Historically, the title industry is considered complex. It's highly regulated and really has been relationship driven. Women in Title provides a space where we can openly discuss challenges amongst each other, growth, talk about work-life balance and how to find that, and really discuss industry advocacy and what's going on in our field. So it's really more than networking. It's about advocacy, collaboration, and empowerment. Through Women in Title and our local chapter specifically, I find that when we support each other intentionally, we're building stronger relationships, stronger companies, stronger communities, and stronger growth.
Anybody that spends any amount of time with you can pick up on your passion for this industry. What has being involved with Women in Title meant to you personally, Lexi?
Personally, it's been incredibly meaningful, and it's been very impactful to see our growth and how the chapter has developed over the last year. Internally, being in a leadership role within Women in Title really aligns with my broader professional and personal goals. Serving as chair has really allowed me to step into a leadership role that's not focused necessarily on sales goals, but on impact, creating a space, facilitating growth, and helping others step into their confidence and new experiences. Watching somebody attend their first meetup kind of quietly and then maybe months later lead a discussion, that's really powerful.
Lexi, would you say that Women in Title is only for women that work for title companies, or does it include others in the real estate industry?
Our chapters are open to anyone in the title industry who kind of supports the mission. So in Maine specifically, we welcome underwriters, title company owners, sales reps, operation professionals. Basically, if you're involved in the title process, you're welcome to have a seat at our meetings. We work closely with other industry partners as well. They've come in as outside speakers and contributors. So if you have a hand in the title process, you're welcome to our meetings as well. And while our focus is women specifically in title, we recognize that our industry really includes many different roles and perspectives.
The education piece for me has been really great in the Women in Title meetings.
I always say knowledge is power, and education has been a fundamental piece of my personal growth in my career and how I impact others. So I work really hard to find educational opportunities for our members that are going to help them move forward with confidence and step into their roles and have a greater knowledge base. So when they get that call and they have a crazy transaction, I would love for them to be able to say, hey, I learned about that at Women in Title. I know what to do, or I know who to call. So I think education is so important, whether it's internal, external, and we have so many resources available to us. And if I'm able to use this as a platform to expand the knowledge of everyone in our industry, that's just elevating the profession and helping the title industry grow overall.
For anybody who's listening in Maine, Lexi, or even national maybe, and thinking they'd like to get involved, what is the best way to do that?
That is a great question and a very easy one. So if you just want to explore and you're not ready to commit to coming to a meeting or anything yet, Women in Title has an online platform called HiveBright. So if you just look up HiveBright, Women in Title, it's its landing page that has all sorts of information about our mission, local meetups. You can explore different chapters. So that's a great starting space. And of course, you're always welcome to reach out to me. I'm happy to give you a very introductory overview. You're welcome to come and sit in one of our meetings. There's no official membership or dues or anything like that. So there's truly no commitment. If you come and it doesn't resonate with you, no worries, but we'd love to have you see what we can do and what we offer and invite you to be part of our community. And then I'll extend this message to other women who may be listening who may not be in Maine. It's very easy to start a Women in Title chapter as well. So go check out that HiveBright platform. I'm always happy to have a conversation with someone who's maybe interested in bringing this to our state. And even in our meetings, I've invited women from other states, sit in, join our meeting, especially if it's virtual. It's a little easier. But, come sit in, see what we're about, and see if this is something that would bring value to your local title community.
Well, we're coming up in May on our first year in Women in Title. I'm so excited to see what the next year brings. As it stands right now, Jessica is the co-chair and I'm the communications chair. So we're all very involved, very excited about this. We appreciate you doing all of this. I know it's a lot of work, Lexi, but you're doing an amazing job and I'm excited to see what happens this coming year.
Thank you so much, Bobbie. Well, I definitely have the dream leadership team. And, you mentioned it's a lot of work, but when you see the impact that it's having, it's so worth it. I will always work hard for a positive outcome. And I just love to see this difference. This is even making amongst competitors in our state. So it's really cool to see and nowhere to go but up.
Thank you so much for coming on, Lexi. I am going to include information from the episode in the episode description. I'll also include your contact information, maybe a link to the HiveBright platform that you mentioned.
Perfect.
So that everybody has the resources to learn a little more about this group. And I do want to highlight something you said, that you do not have to be there every meeting. It's not like a BNI situation. You're welcome to come to one meeting, to all the meetings. We understand everybody's busy, especially in the real estate industry. So I do want to point out that you don't have to be at every meeting, and we welcome you no matter what you can contribute.
Thank you so much, Lexi. It's been a pleasure to have you on our podcast. this morning, and also to get to be a part of Women in Title with you. I'm absolutely honored for this experience and to be involved in the Maine chapter from the ground floor up. And we just appreciate everything that you've done to pull our community together across the state.
Well, thank you so much, Bobbie and Jess, for having me today. And to all of our women in title who are listening to this podcast, I hope to see you at an upcoming meetup.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Behind the Title. We appreciate you listening. Do not forget to rate the show, share the show, follow the show. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or at trilogyandbaldacci.com. Thank you all. Have a great day. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Behind the Title, the official podcast of Trilogy and Baldacci Real Estate Closing Services with your hosts, Bobbie Grenier and Jessica Mongue. Remember, this podcast is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only and not intended as legal advice. Please remember to follow and rate the show and share this episode with a friend.